Imagine this. You survive deployment, you survive firefights, sleepless nights, and watching brothers in arms die beside you. All that keeps you alive are the letters from your wife, promising she loves you, that she's waiting, that she's counting the days until you come home. But when you finally step through the door, you don't walk into love. You walk into betrayal. Her hugs feel colder, her phone never leaves her hand, and one night, jet-lagged and restless, you see a message light up her screen. I can't wait to see you again. Last night was amazing. My name is James, and I thought I survived war. But the battlefield waiting for me at home nearly destroyed me. When I signed my deployment papers, Abby clung to me so tightly I thought my bones might break. Her eyes shimmered with tears as she whispered, I'll be waiting. I'll count the days until you come home. Those words became my lifeline. Every time I folded my uniform, every time I laced my boots, I reminded myself I wasn't just fighting for my country, I was fighting for us. Abby kissed me at the airport with trembling lips, holding on till the officer called my name. I boarded the plane with her face burned into my memory. In my chest, I carried hope. In my bag, I carried her letters. What I didn't know was that while I stepped into a battlefield, she was already preparing one of her own. The desert was merciless. Nights were long, filled with gunfire echoing in the distance, the screams of men who wouldn't see morning. But through the chaos, her letters were oxygen. She wrote about how much she missed me, about how the house felt empty without my laugh, about how she couldn't fall asleep without my pillow. Every word was a promise, every line a lifeline. When loneliness crept in, I pulled out those letters. I love you. I'm proud of you. Come home safe. She said it again and again, and I believed her. War taught me not to trust easily, but I trusted Abby with everything. I had no idea that the real enemy wasn't holding a rifle overseas. He was waiting just a few doors down from my own home. When my boots finally touched American soil, I thought the worst was over. I had survived firefight, sleepless nights, and the crushing weight of war. All I wanted was Abby's arms. At first, she delivered. She cried when she saw me at the airport, running into my arms like a scene from a movie. She clung to me as though she'd never let go. For a moment, I thought every nightmare was worth this reunion. But after a week, something shifted. Her hugs grew colder. Her smiles didn't reach her eyes. Her phone was always face down, her laughter muffled behind closed doors. I told myself it was adjustment. War changes you. Maybe home does too. But deep down, I knew something was wrong. One night, jet-lagged and restless, I crept downstairs for water. Abby's phone buzzed on the counter, lighting up the kitchen with a glow I'll never forget. The message burned itself into me. I can't wait to see you again. Last night was amazing. My hands trembled as I picked it up. I still knew her passcode. My heart begged me not to unlock it, but my gut already knew the truth. Inside were months of messages, pictures, voice notes. A man's name repeated again and again, George. He told my wife things she used to tell me, called her beautiful, told her she made him feel alive, and she replied with heart emojis, with promises, with words that once belonged to me. When Abby came downstairs, humming softly like she hadn't just gutted me, I held up the phone. Who's George? Her face drained of color. She broke instantly, collapsing onto the floor in sobs. She admitted it, said she met him while I was gone, said she was lonely, said she needed comfort, and then she had the audacity to whisper, "You left me here, James. What did you expect? A woman has needs." My fist slammed into the wall so hard my knuckles split. I was dodging bullets for us, Abby. For us. And you were screwing the neighbor? She sobbed harder, begging me to understand. But all I heard was betrayal echoing in my skull. I wanted to believe maybe, just maybe, she had ended it. But when I checked again, I saw the truth. She was still making plans with him. Another night, another secret, another knife in my back. One evening, while packing my bag, I opened our closet. That's when I saw it. A shoebox tucked deep behind old coats. Inside were photographs. Abby and George, smiling in restaurants, kissing in the park, lying in our bed. But the worst weren't the photos. It was the letters, notes she had written him, words nearly identical to the ones she sent me overseas. I love you. I can't wait to start over, with him. My blood boiled. I stormed next door and pounded on George's door until he answered. He smirked like he'd been waiting for this. "James, man!" My fist silenced him. He hit the floor, groaning, blood spilling from his lip. "You were supposed to be my friend," I spat. Through the pain, he sneered. "You were never here." She was lonely. What did you expect? The same excuse, the same poison. I almost finished him right there. But prison wouldn't fix my heart, so I left him bleeding because some wounds cut deeper than fists ever could. A few days later, I visited Sarah, the widow of my brother-in-arms, Kyle. She had lost her husband overseas, yet she never once betrayed him. She wore her grief like armor, and still she stood tall. When I told her about Abby, her eyes burned with fury. "James, don't you dare blame yourself," she said. "We knew what we signed up for. I lost Kyle, but I never once thought of betraying him. That was my choice. Abby made hers. Her words cut deeper than any bullet. Abby hadn't cheated because I was gone. She cheated because she wanted to." That night, I came home to find Abby on the floor, surrounded by tissues. She begged for forgiveness, swore she'd end it, swore she loved me. But when I looked at her, I didn't see the woman I once loved. I saw ashes, loyalty burned to dust. I told her I needed space. She grabbed my arm, sobbing, "James, please, don't leave me. But love means nothing without loyalty. And once loyalty is gone, all that remains are ashes." I lay in bed that night staring at the ceiling. Every laugh we shared, every kiss, every memory was poisoned. Her words haunted me. What did you expect? I thought of George's smug face. I thought of Sarah's loyalty. And I thought of Kyle, buried under foreign soil, never getting the chance to come home. Why did I survive only to walk into this? Why did I dodge bullets only to be stabbed by the person I trusted most? I tried to eat breakfast the next morning, but every bite tasted like betrayal. Abby sat across from me, her eyes red, her hands trembling. She whispered apologies between sobs, but then her phone buzzed. She flinched, trying to hide it. My chest tightened. I snatched it before she could stop me. Another message. Another plan to meet George. That was it, my breaking point. I packed my bag with trembling hands. Each shirt, each boot felt like a funeral. Abby cried, begging me not to go. "We can fix this," she pleaded. "I'll change." But promises meant nothing anymore. I zipped my bag shut, her sobs echoing behind me as I walked out the door. I didn't know where I was going, only that I couldn't stay. Days passed. I ignored her calls, ignored her texts. Each one was another dagger. "Please come home. I can't live without you." But she had already killed us. Silence was my only weapon now. I sat alone in a motel room, staring at the ceiling. My war medals lay on the nightstand beside me, proof that I had survived hell. But what good were medals when my heart was in pieces? I thought of Abby, of George, of Sarah's words, and I realized something brutal. I had survived war, but my marriage didn't. I returned to the house one last time to gather the rest of my things. Abby stood at the door, broken, begging, "James, please, don't leave me." I looked at her one final time. The woman I once loved was gone. In her place was a stranger who wore betrayal like perfume. I should have died overseas, but I lived, and now I carried this truth. I survived bullets, but I couldn't survive her betrayal.
Wow, James survived bullets, explosions, and sleepless nights overseas, only to come home to the kind of betrayal no soldier could ever prepare for. Abby's promise was broken. George crossed a line that can never be uncrossed. And James, he walked away carrying a truth heavier than any weapon. Sometimes, the wounds from betrayal cut deeper than the wounds from war. But now, I want to hear from you. If you were in James's boots, what would you have done? Forgive, fight back, or walk away forever? Drop your thoughts in the comments. I read every single one. And remember, sometimes the hardest battles aren't fought overseas. They're fought at home, in silence, with the people you trust the most. If this story hit you hard, don't forget to like, subscribe, and tap the bell, because the next betrayal story might just leave you speechless. Until then, remember this: love means nothing without loyalty. And once loyalty is gone, all that remains are ashes.